Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Volley Rally. Today, joined by Liza once again. Liza, how are you doing today?
Doing excellent. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for taking the time to join me. We're going to go through a tip to help people with their sales BDCs who are on Volley. So let's dive right into it. You want to talk about ensuring your workflow is being followed with your outbound attempts. You want to go ahead?
Yep, I do. I will share my screen in just a second. I want to kind of preface this. Before I show you how, I want to talk about why. A lot of our sales accounts prior to using Volley, may have managed a workflow or kind of that lead cadence in their CRM. We hear all the time from accounts that changing that workflow prior to Volley was not easy. Maybe you hadn't been able to manage your own workflow. If you wanted to make a change, you would have to reach out to someone else, and it may take them a long time to make those changes for you. Great news. In Volley, you have the ability to edit these cadences or these workflows anytime you want. Your CS rep is more than happy to help you. We like to help. We like to strategize with these types of things, but you can steer. You can, anytime you want to, you can come in here and you can change your workflow. So that's what I'm going to show you today really quickly. This is something that your CS rep would have asked you about when you were launching your account, but it's good to revisit these things every once in a while. Monitor what's happening, and maybe you need to make some tweaks as you go. So this setting in particular is going to live on the campaign itself. So I found my way to my leads campaign by going into admin, and then I selected campaigns. Then I came into the phone outbound tab. They're alphabetical, so it's just towards the bottom. Phone outbound, and this is where that workflow or that cadence lives. So towards the top of that page, I set the number of max attempts. So that's the number of phone calls that I want associated with this particular campaign, this part of my workflow. Once I have the number of attempts selected, I can scroll down and I can space out those attempts using what we call lock minutes. So the lock minutes refer to the time, the minimum amount of time that must pass between this attempt and the next attempt. So the 15 minutes that are set here on this first row indicate that a minimum of 15 minutes must pass after the first attempt before the second attempt for any lead would be available. So this kind of prevents your team from double dialing or from calling a customer too soon. It allows you to methodically or intentionally kind of space out those calls. You can also utilize calling times, which mean if I want my first attempt, in this case, to be in the morning, actually I have these ones set, I thought that said AM. I have it open all day. So these calls can be made anytime between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. So presumably I close prior to that. But I might indicate, that I only want my first attempt to be made in the morning. Or maybe I want, my second attempt to be in the morning and my fifth attempt to be in the afternoon to ensure that I'm trying that lead during different times of the day. So lots of different strings that you can pull here, ways that you can manipulate that workflow in Volley. It's very simple. Once you find your way to the campaign, you make your way to this phone outbound tab, and then kind of the world is your oyster. So loop us in if we can help, but really easy, something that, we want to make sure that that you have the ability to make those changes on any of your lead follow-up campaigns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great little tip because as you said, a lot of the sales BDCs don't know that they can manage this and are used to it being kind of clunky with their old processes, right?
Yeah, right. You are not stuck with your cadence for life. So we know that, all of our accounts like to revisit those things and like to strategize. That's part of why you signed up for Volley. So If you forgot that this existed, maybe you haven't talked about it since your launch call, just a reminder that this exists, and you're fully capable of tweaking those things as you go.
Awesome. Well, Liza, thanks for going over this for everybody, and thanks for walking through this. If you're tuning in here, like Liza said, definitely reach out to your rep if you have any questions. If you want help with anything, we're always here to help. Let us know down below if there's any other tips or anything that you want us to talk about, whether it's sales or service BDC. And I hope you all have a fantastic day.